Welcome everybody to a new presentation of Dive and Travel. My name is Sander and today we're traveling all over the world to Indonesia and the area of Raja Ampat. We're going to the Papua Explorers Resort. And as our guest we have Nena. Nena, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you as well.
You're going to tell us everything about the Papua Explorers Resort in Raja Ampat. Can you tell us something about the resort?
Yeah, of course. So Papua Explorers has been operating since a bit more than 7 years, and it came from the dream of our owners to establish an eco-friendly dive resort that blends in with the local surroundings, but is also offering the modern comfort for divers and snorkelers to relax in. And yeah, it has worked out well so far. We think we had a lot of positive feedback, and we even won the Dive Travel Award for the best resort worldwide in 2019, and we are very proud of that. For the building of the resort, we use local construction methods and natural materials, and it was also very important for us to involve the local communities in the building and also as our staff. We started with a few bungalows, and now in the meantime we have 15 in total. And it's very nice because they are all built on the water, so you get to be part of nature. You hear the sound of the ocean, feel the ocean breeze, hear the birds in the morning, and so on. And our resort is located at the heart of Raja Ampat, basically. So at the Dampier Strait, that's where all the famous dive sites are located. In total, we have about 50 dive sites that we can visit regularly and very short boat rides. So it's like 15 to 25 minutes. We get to the top spots in Raja Ampat. Yeah.
So the location is right at the Dampier Strait, and from your bungalow, you look over the water when you wake up, and that's the area where you're going diving.
Yeah.
Hey, the travel to Raja Ampat is quite a long journey, but hey, you get a really nice holiday. Our guests fly in via Jakarta with an onward flight via Ujung Pandang to Sorong. Can you tell me how a transfer after arrival at Sorong Airport to Raja Ampat Papua Explorers Resort looks like?
Yeah, so we pick you up at the exit of Sorong Airport. We have our team there, and within Sorong it's only short car rides, and we arrange everything. First we bring you to a hotel for a breakfast and everything, and then when the boat is ready, we bring it to the harbor. We have our own speedboat with transfers on Wednesdays and Sundays. The boat ride is about 2.5 hours. And then you will be at the resort in paradise. And on the way back, it's the same. We also take care of the transfer again and until Sorong Airport.
So after arrival on the airport, first to a hotel for breakfast, and then a little bit of a car transfer to the harbor and the boat transfer onwards to Papua Explorers Resort. Yep. Hey, can you tell us a little bit about the resort? You already said 15 bungalows, all with sea view. They are built on stilts on top of the water. But can you tell us a little bit of the layout of the resort?
Yeah, so the bungalows, they are all lined up at the waterfront, and also maybe it's good to mention that you have a veranda with stairs into the ocean, so you can start swimming and snorkeling right away from your room basically. And the rooms have all the nice amenities, like they have their own bathroom with hot water, shower. We also provide environmentally friendly shampoo, conditioner, and so on, free of charge. And the beds are very cozy. You have fans, and then you have a sofa area, coffee, tea, and water amenities. And the hammock, sun lounges, and so on. And then at the resort jetty, at the end of the jetty is our dive center. In the middle of the jetty is our spa, so you can also get a nice massage after a long day of diving. And there's a big round building, which is our restaurant. So also a very important place to be.
Yeah. So the restaurant is at the beginning of the jetty, halfway is the spa, and at the end is the dive center where the boats leave to the different dive sites. We have a very nice video about the resort and the diving, and I would suggest we're going to watch it to get a better impression about the resort and the beautiful area under and above the water around Papua Explorers Resort. The diving in Raja Ampat keeps amazing me. What a beautiful video. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I want to go back. Can you tell us a little bit about a day of diving at Papua Explorers Resort? What time diving starts and how many dive sites, etc.?
Yeah. Okay. The breakfast at the resort is normally at 7 a.m. and then the boats go out at 8 a.m. for the diving, and then in the morning we do 2 dives. And then between the dives we have a coffee break with homemade snacks and like surface interval at a nice beach or on an island, and then after the second dive we go back to the resort for lunch, and after lunch there is the afternoon dive at 3 o'clock. And if you still cannot get enough, you can also do a night dive or a sunset dive at the house reef at Papua Explorers. Yeah, so in the morning for the diving, the day starts, we meet at the dive center, we get the gear ready, and we have there all the equipment room, we have extra camera room for photographers where you can charge and dry your cameras. We have showers there and so on. We have several briefing boards, also a big map with all the dive sites on it, and platforms where the boats dock. And we double check the gear, we analyze the nitrox. Nitrox is free of charge at Papua Explorers, by the way. And then we our crew sets up the equipment in the boats, but if you prefer to do it on your own, we can also arrange that, of course. We do the briefings, and then once we're all set, it's ready to get going and hop into the boat. We have 7 dive boats. So maximum 6 divers on one boat with 2 guides. So it means the highest diver to dive guide ratio would be 4 divers with 1 guide, but sometimes it's also less. When we arrive at the dive site, the divers check the current first, and then maybe make adjustments to the dive plan if necessary. So the time to the dive site is about 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the location. So it's very short, and there's always a lot to see.
And what's the average dive time? Is that an hour, or can people dive longer?
Yeah, an hour, usually 60.
Yeah, and that's because of the number of dives you make during a day. Eh? If you make 5 dives of an hour, it's 5 hours underwater a day. Yeah. Hey, and Raja Ampat is, of course, the location for the best biodiversity underwater.
Yeah.
We cannot name all the animals we can see in Raja Ampat. But can you tell us a little bit of what we can expect during a dive in Raja Ampat?
Yeah, so the variety of dive sites is very nice. Every dive site has another specialty, basically. So there's some dive sites where you're just amazed by the variety of the fish, and like there's a lot of reef fish, of course, and schools of fish like barracudas and sweet lips and so on. And there's also predators hunting them, like the sharks or javalis. And there's other dive sites where we have manta ray cleaning stations. So you might encounter manta rays, especially between October and May. And Raja Ampat is one of the few places where you get to see, hopefully, the oceanic manta as well as the reef manta too. So both species you can see. And then we also have mackerel, like pygmy seahorses, nudibranch, all kinds of crabs and shrimps and pipefish and so on. It's very for everybody.
You can continue for hours with what we can see in Raja Ampat. But as you told, and as I said, it's one of the best biodiversity areas in the world. And from the small critters to the sharks, manta rays, everything can be seen in Raja Ampat. So it should be on everybody's bucket list, especially the combination with the beautiful reefs.
Exactly.
The location, topside is what makes the area so special. Dinner at Papua Explorers Resort, is that set dinner or a la carte?
It's buffet dinner. So we have our restaurant, like I said, the round-shaped building. You have almost 360-degree sea view, and it's very spacious. So lots of tables to spread out, and it's one of the most, next to the dive center, one of the most important places to be. You get to make new friends, share stories, and of course enjoy your meals, and also have a fish ID library and souvenir shop. And the latest addition is our coffee bar with a professional barista, so you can even get a decent cappuccino or espresso in Raja Ampat.
That's for me a good way to start today, and also to end the day. Papua Explorers is doing a lot with the Papua Explorers Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation?
So generally also we are an eco resort, so supporting the local communities and also conserving the marine life is already incorporated in our philosophy and our whole operation. And then in 2018 we started the Papua Explorers Foundation additionally, and every guest who comes to the resort is contributing already by staying with us, contributing to it. And we have several projects going. For example, the Reef Gardener project, where we transplant coral fragments onto structures. So, and they grow very nicely. You can see it, for example, on one side of our house reef. And then Papuan Dive Guide School to train the locals, Eyes on the Reef monitoring project, and some other things.
So the foundation is doing a lot for the local community. If you visit Papua Explorers Resort and you're not a diver, cannot imagine it, but imagine you are not a diver, or you're on the last day of your holiday and you are not allowed to dive. What kind of excursions can be done?
Yeah, so if you're not a diver, generally also many dive sites are suitable for snorkeling as well, because the reef tops are quite shallow and it's beautiful coral gardens at the top. But if you don't want to get into the water, you can also join some excursions of ours. So we have going to a bit more remote places in Raja Ampat. It's full day trips. So we take a picnic lunch and then we start in the morning and we come back only in the late afternoon. We cruise around the islands and we visit viewpoints, maybe do a bit of hiking, and yeah, there's stunning views of the islands and everything. For example, to Wayag Islands. When you Google Raja Ampat, this is the first that comes up, these picturesque islands.
Famous picture, yeah.
Yeah. That is one part, and then we also see a lot of birds in Raja Ampat. Even if you go around the resort, you might see cockatoos, parrots, kingfishers, but we also have two endemic species of bird of paradise, the red bird of paradise and Wilson's bird of paradise. So we also arrange bird watching trips. They are very early in the morning, usually. Yeah, and then we have kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, and you can also take a walk at during low tide at the beach and maybe look at the neighbor village. They have a very simple life and might see some familiar faces from our staff. Yeah, it's really nice.
So a lot to do also for the non-diver. And what you told for the snorkelers, yeah, that's of course an important issue. The top reef in Raja Ampat is on many dive sites very close to the waterline, so it's easy areas for snorkeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nena, I want to thank you for this presentation. If people want more information, they can find all the information and the links below this video. And I hope to visit you soon again. And thank you again.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.